Well, let's start over again. Cut.
We should have like a whole bunch of these, right?
Yeah, right. Just start the whole show with a goof off each time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ta-da,
All right.
here we go. We are live. Well, we are recording live. This is our inaugural episode. This is episode number 1 of the Monsters from Lake Erie, everybody.
What's happening?
Yay. And you're probably wondering what the heck is this? We decided we wanted to do a little show where we could kind of take you behind the scenes of what goes on with making our series and us as filmmakers, like what we do. Because like I live here in Erie, but I work in Los Angeles a lot, and
Yep.
John lives in
I
Scottsdale, right?
live in Scottsdale, going to Arizona State University, and then kind of like you, looking to live in LA for a little bit. My last semester will be fall semester coming up. So I'll live there for 4 months.
Yeah. So we're we are going to try to give you like an inside look about like what that's like too, from his perspective, from my perspective, as we build up the research and ideas for next season's show of Project Algerine and what other stuff we're going to be doing along the way. So just kind of it'll kind of keep everybody on the same page, I guess, because I
Yeah,
get asked a lot of questions a lot of times, and it's just I think it'd just be easier to do it like this. We can talk about, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean,
for sure.
I mean,
Always.
uh, I could go on with, uh, I'm super excited to see that, that the on location series is coming to Facebook. That I don't know when this will air, but
Okay.
I know right now it's scheduled to premiere tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And then
Okay.
each day for the next 18 days it'll come out at around the same time in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, that's great. And like that's a recent development, correct? It's shifting from the YouTube to
Well,
Facebook.
we're not shifting. We're still going to stay on YouTube. It's just adding another a platform to put that out.
Well put.
You know,
Well put. Yeah.
we wanted to make sure that we had something in place with Meta that owns Facebook,
Gotcha.
and I'm sure they, we had to qualify too. We had to reach a certain, you know, we
Sure.
a
Sure.
demographic that they want to be able to hit too. So
Oh, for sure. And I'm trying to think, the other day we were kind of briefly talking the Facebook establishment, and then when everything kind of went on, we can get into that later if you want, but
yeah.
it's been over. Is today the birthday or the day after the birthday
Oh,
for you?
actually, yeah, today is the birthday. I actually got a thing on from YouTube also that said happy birthday. Yeah, which is odd. I'll go into that story real quick because most
Okay,
people
sure.
probably don't know it,
Yeah.
but this is technically Project Algerine's 4th birthday is today. That was when the name was registered on YouTube and when the name was picked on Facebook.
Okay.
And but I had uploaded all the first, there were 6 of them at first. I uploaded the first 6 episodes, and they sat there for over a year.
Okay.
They
Trying to decide what to do with them, right?
Well,
Essentially.
no, well, what I was doing is it was just kind of like uh yeah, essentially trying to figure out what to do with them, like properly. And uh I let a few people see them, a couple friends in the
Sure.
industry and stuff, and then that's what kind of led me down that road to do that Stephen King thing, and then
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
other
Beach World.
windows open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that was, it's odd that the show did so well. It wasn't until September of 2021 that I just
Okay.
said, "Oh, what the heck? I'm just going to let these kind of
Sure.
play and just let them
Yeah.
out." And
Yeah.
it's pretty much been nonstop ever since.
That's great. Yeah. It would very interesting. So those 6 episodes you talk about are season one,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Algerine, right?
yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. And then, it just kind of everything kind of snowballed from there. Um,
Sure.
it's been doing really well on Facebook. The
Yeah. What are the stats so far? Because
it just this it's been out the one episode we released yesterday was the Gateway District one, and that's been seen by 5,000 people, I think,
oh, right on.
first 24 hours.
Wow,
So that's really
that's pretty good reach.
that's pretty good. Yeah, that I don't think there's anybody around that's able to get that kind of traction without having to, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. And so with those views, you're able to see. Would you say 5,000 views already?
Yeah, that was just on Facebook for Gateway District. Yeah, that was just in the last like day since it's been out for that one video. So that's pretty good. So
Nice.
um yeah, the other ones we'll see how they play on Facebook. They did really well on YouTube, but since now we have the ability to do this on multiple networks, I figured why not. Um that brings up, let's see, I'm trying to think of what was the other point I wanted to bring up with that was
The releasability, maybe like how each episode's going to come out.
well,
Um,
yeah, they should pretty much come out the same way they kind of did
okay.
when they did on YouTube.
So no like timed release or anything like that. It's just kind of
It's just going to be every day.
okay.
We'll just go through 1 through 18, and I have them scheduled to come out and stuff.
Okay.
And and then we just kind of see how they play.
Right on.
It was a blast to make that show. Let me tell you that.
Oh yeah. For
Yeah, that
sure. I
was
mean,
yeah.
6 weeks, 18 episodes.
I'm still sore from going around. We put a lot of miles on.
Yeah.
Um,
No, great. I got to, so I was back for the summer for a couple different reasons. Obviously, this was, I would say, the main driver, to get together with you and go on location. I will say this, before I came out, I had a lot of friends, family, and other colleagues are like, what are you going to do out there? And I had a
right.
vague idea of kind of what we were going to do, Brian. But I would say once we kind of got on location, things happened organically.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And the
things
randomness of it was kind of really what I wanted.
right on.
It's just just to go out and explore,
Yeah.
and just look at it all.
Sure.
That's the fun stuff of it. And it feedback was really good. So we'll obviously do other episodes on that. So
Yeah.
um, and then let's see, what were we gonna talk about? What's great about this is we can kind of we can shift. Oops, there goes my focus. I made my focus go out. There we go. All right.
Focus,
So
focus, focus, focus.
yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Other projects. See, that's another thing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
People ask all the time. They're like, "Hey, are you still making older Project Algerine episodes?" Yeah, I mean, we'd love to make an entire season of nothing but those, but they take a lot of time to make. I mean, people don't
Oh,
really realize that like I think like one episode in the first season took about 5 years to make. Because it shows the whole progression of the West Erie Plaza kind of makeover, and that didn't happen overnight. That
that's
took,
right. And you got to include original footage from what I remember, that
yeah,
you
the
that you took, right?
theater theater being torn down there. Yeah, that was yeah, I was the only one there when that happened, except for the guy doing it.
Of course. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, sure, it's not like they made, we're gonna go out and make an announcement, but I understand.
No,
But
I
it
get
was
it.
just happen chance. I just happened to be there, and I was like, that's coming down. I might as well record that. So
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So what's happening, I guess, with me? So I'm finishing up summer classes. So I'm taking film FMS 200, which is like film and media history.
mhm.
I guess it's very germane to kind of what we're doing because one of the last modules, if you will, they talk about what is TV and what is digital. And like, so we could probably talk for, I mean, let's just narrow it to on location. That is a program that developed over 6 weeks, right?
Hmm.
Um, Interestingly enough, like my friends and family back in Erie who were paying attention to what I was doing started to pick up what we were doing. And then I would say organically it was starting to like spread. So
Yeah.
like it was kind of cool to be there, boots on ground, if you will. I don't
Yep.
necessarily dig that term, but you know, like when we were the rubber that meets the road kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you just kind of go out there and, if thankfully I didn't fall down that hill because you would have saw that too, that would have been pretty embarrassing.
We would have caught it on footage.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's probably a whole bunch of extras we could do with regards to, the intros and,
Right.
actually not all the walk-offs were perfect. There were sometimes.
Right, right. So in regards to the older episodes and
Yeah,
that style and stuff, sure, we'd love to be able to do that.
yeah.
They take a lot of time. They take that those were done. A lot of those, like I said too, were done during. I don't know if I don't know if anybody knows. Most of those were done during the pandemic lockdown. So
Okay, gotcha.
that there was a reason why I didn't go to these places to film any of them was
Sure.
because we couldn't. They weren't. You couldn't go anywhere. So
Yep.
uh, that's one of the other reasons why with this series, the on location series, we wanted to go to these places because it was like to me almost at that point it became almost like each place became like a pilgrimage to go to, and
Oh, sure.
uh,
Sure. And I would say even looking back, Brian, you and I have talked about this, each location becomes a character in and of itself.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right. That's why we intend to hit new locations,
Sure.
but also kind of revisit some of these older locations. I mean, the whole
Waldemar. Waldemar.
yeah, Waldemar is going to change, and they change every year. They just announced they're changing. So I mean, they just if anybody's seen this, they just announced they have a new ride coming. They're retiring the Spider ride. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Of
Uh,
course.
Erie Aircraft, I believe, made that in 1977.
Okay.
Uh, and they're pulling that out, and that's really not surprising. And the reason is, if anybody's ever ridden the Spider ride at Waldemar,
Yeah, yeah.
it takes forever to load that ride and get it up there full of people before it can spin around because
Yep.
only one arm comes down at a time to get people on and off. So you know what I mean. So you have to do
Yeah.
everybody, and then
Sure.
once it gets full, it spins around, and then So it's just it's kind of a. I think a lot of people, the ride operators, are probably like, yay, good, good, yeah. And what they're replacing it with looks really cool. It
I saw
fits in the
that.
same spot. Yeah,
Saw that.
that thing's
Yeah,
gonna,
it looks like a exactly. Everyone does the hands like
yeah, it just looks wild. And that's, I mean, bravo to them, I mean, it would hard to figure out what you could put in a spot like that for flat rides, that have the onloading and offloading capability that they'll be able to do with this one. Like they can do half and half or full and full, and it's it looks really cool. It looks like you get some really cool views of the park that probably we've never seen before, because
Yeah.
it goes up high, it lifts itself up and almost looks like a Ferris wheel that kind of turns in a way when
Yeah.
you're riding on it. It looks really cool. I'm kind of excited to see that one.
Yeah.
I know
Can't wait.
I went off on a tangent. Sorry, I could talk about that all day.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about, though. It is the ability to so Waldemar in itself is one facet of the Gateway District that's just so unique to Erie, right? But inside Waldemar, because your past and your connection with Waldemar, there's just so much unique rainbow gardens and like
Oh yeah, school dances, stuff like that,
yeah, I mean just all those kind of things. And
festivals.
yeah, and what you've been able to, I think, to do with your episodes is dig down into the history that it's not obscure history, but it's history that kind of forms how we are today and maybe what we do in the future, right? Kind of thing. Like what Waldemar, you don't really pay to get in.
Right.
You pay
And
per ride.
yeah, and what's fascinating about that is like you could see that reasoning why they did that now, because it literally, I mean, it makes sense. It totally makes sense to me. And it makes sense why, the water park is, like you have to pay to get in there, not, yeah, because you can't carry tickets in your bathing suit, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
going to work that way,
yeah, yeah,
uh, right. It's just, nobody wants to deal with that.
yeah,
But it's, I think that park is one of the best historical
yeah.
attractions.
Sure. The
I
rides that
mean,
they have
and
it.
that brings up another point is, um, I think we can talk a little bit about some of our 5-year plan, a little bit,
Sure.
and which, it brings up the point is, the Mill Creek doesn't have any really historical attractions.
Oh, interesting.
Think about
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, we had planned to do, over the time, try to put in maybe some pop-up stuff uh around. And you see, we have the historical marker program. We've already started doing that.
Yep.
Uh
Yep.
and, those take a while. That's, I
Sure.
mean, you're talking, it took us a while to find someplace, and it just happened to be here in Erie, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because, you try shipping one of those things, it's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
We tried waiting around for the state to get back online with their program for historical markers, but no such
They
luck.
shifted. They shifted and turned off recently, right? I
No,
mean,
no, they've been down since COVID,
okay.
and yeah, you haven't been able to get signs since then. They're kind of like just reassessing their like their not inventory, but, like cleaning up old ones and fixing and repairing
Priorities. Yeah.
old ones and stuff. And then they said it's because of supply chain issues, which, I mean, you can get one here in Erie. So I don't know, I mean, if there's supply chain issues after 4 years, you've got bigger problems, guys. Uh,
So, do you want to talk about donation and Erie Gives Day and that kind of thing? So, like
that's coming up on the 13th. There's
weeks.
Yeah, that's in 13 days, or 2 weeks from today. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the 13th, Tuesday the 13th. Yeah. So yeah, that's this is our first time being involved in that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to this year they're doing it 24 hours instead of 12 hours. And
Okay.
that was because I guess a lot of people live, you know,
Donor windows.
yeah, there's people that are from Erie that live in California that, it gets shut off at 4 or 5 o'clock to them. They're like, what? Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Just
so
getting ready to be
it
done
makes
with dinner
sense to
meal.
do what they're doing. Yeah.
I get
So,
it.
it's going to be exciting. We have, a lot of goals we want to try to meet, like I said, the number one goal for us right now is that historical marker. That's my goal
Yep.
still, to the end of
Yep.
this year. Get that marker done, get it ready, get it, everything in position for that. Um, and then we're planning to do a really special episode of On Location for you
Oh yeah.
guys, and I really hope we're going to be able to organize that. If we do
We'll be
that,
able
that might
to.
be like around the end of September, maybe October-ish, around there. And then in the beginning of October, we have the Project Algerine here is a sponsor of the Erie Horror Fest.
Yep.
Uh, as you
Like the
can
fourth and
see,
fifth.
I'm a
October,
fan of horror movies.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. October 4th and 5th, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, and they do a
Yeah.
good job. Yeah, they've always done a good job. It's, that's why, like, when I saw they had to be able to sponsor this year, I was like, yeah, this should be a no-brainer for us, because they, they
I'm clearing my schedule to come back for that. That's how,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We'll get you in for that one. And then um let's see, what else is there. Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about, they just wrapped on the new Superman movie here in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Okay.
And a couple other
Right next
places.
door.
Yeah, yeah, right next door to us. And someone would say, wow, that's pretty cool that they're filming right next door to us. But, you know,
However,
wouldn't that be great if they brought that $260 million film to Erie? Wouldn't that be
$260
fantastic?
million. That's not chump change.
No, but the reason why they went to Ohio is because Ohio has a better film tax credit system.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
that's one of the reasons we need to like thankfully there's a group here in Erie that's been formed. They have been pushing and
Okay.
promoting for film here in Erie,
Okay.
for film crews and stuff to come in here. And that's something that really I wish a lot of people would get together with, because that's an entire industry that's being ignored here. That
It's
like
tragic
yeah, it is tragic. I mean,
because so if I may, Arizona kind of had the same kind of thing, but they're probably listening to people like you and be like, oh, wait a minute, all we have to do is this. So Arizona is known as a flyover state because, everything starts or is in a lot of California, but then the tax breaks that New Mexico would give would draw huge show. I mean, let's just take one of the most famous, Breaking Bad, right?
yeah,
And, you know, do all their content there and save millions because of tax breaks.
yeah.
Millions. So like if you're an investor for one of those Superman films and you're guaranteed to get, I don't know, what I think New Mexico's is 30%. So like, and that's not tax. I think that's like pure incentive, if
Like
you
a
will.
yeah, like a
Like you get that rate
rebate.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, like the rebate system. Um,
So that'd be cool if we could get something like that, right?
well, Pennsylvania has a 25% tax if you spend, I believe, or tax rebate if you spend more than, I believe it's 60 or 70% of your budget within the state of Pennsylvania at the time. There's all kinds of criteria that the state has set up, which is it's
Okay.
good because
Got it.
it keeps good productions coming in, and
For sure.
it's yeah, it's the worthwhile ones that you would want.
Yeah.
And they have a thing with their give me a second here to remember what that was about.
Sure,
Oh
sure.
my God. I always do that. I draw a blank on that. Okay, so Pennsylvania's at 25%. Okay. Now imagine if okay, the reason why things are going across the border over here to Ohio, I'll tell you a little story. Okay.
Good.
So 2 years ago, I tried to get part five of a long running horror franchise filmed in Erie. And
Okay.
the reason why it was because they were I knew the guy looking for locations, and I said, well, come on, come on, Erie, do Erie, it'd be
Got
perfect to set
beaches,
there.
you got freaking
And
forest stuff. Yeah, man.
and
Deciduous forest.
it came down between Erie and a place in Ohio,
Okay.
and guess where they went?
Ohio.
Yeah, it came down to Ohio. It was because of the tax credit. It's simply put, like if somebody said, hey, John, we're going to give you, $5 million to go make a zombie movie on the
Sure.
beach of Presque Isle,
Yep.
they'd have you filming that zombie movie on the beach of Presque Isle in Ohio. And they
Sure.
just put up a sign that says Presque Isle, and
Sure.
because it's cheaper to film there. Uh,
Right.
so it just, you know, if the right people kind of recognize the industry and saw, the 200 some $1 million that just got dropped into Cleveland's lap in the last couple weeks. Um, if they saw that potential and ability to have stuff like that here, um, and were to add additional incentives, you
Sure.
know, like let me tell you something right now. Okay, right now, one of the incentives that's being offered by the state was, if your cast and crew stays longer than 30 days in a hotel, that you would no longer have to pay the hotel tax.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Okay, well that's great, but it's really difficult for a full cast and crew to be staying in the same hotel for six or for 30 days at a
Got it.
time. The whole
Got it.
thing.
You got to move
You
around.
need people moving around, going to places, and
Yeah.
it's really, that's kind of one of those things where, wow, can we
Just
need
change the word to cumulative 30 days. And then you'd be like, yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the crew around for an extra 2 days just so I can get that extra bonus.
Yeah. Sure.
Um,
Wrap
yeah,
party.
here's the thing. What Erie County should be is more. They should be the most flexible county. Work on being the most flexible, film friendly county in the entire state. Add add a 6% uh like credit
Just a
to
little bit. Yeah.
that credit that the state gives, and I guarantee you, you would be a bullseye for every production within 1,000 miles of here.
Yeah.
You know, uh, Pittsburgh just spent uh 7.5 million or something like that. They're converting an old the Cary furnace down there into a studio. Now the
Sure.
state of Pennsylvania will give film companies an additional 5% if they use one of these accredited studios that Pittsburgh is building, and they have like two or three now.
Okay.
I think 31st Street Studios is down there. They do a lot of stuff. They're really good. Um, but we don't have any accredited studios up here, so we can't offer that additional 5%, so they're going to go there. Do you see how that works? They go where the money is. So it's like all I'm asking is like they should just say, hey, you know what? We will pledge if you pledge 6% of everybody that meets this certain criteria with the state, until they have to get up here before they meet that criteria,
Yeah.
give them like an additional 6% tax break or something.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Everything would that entire
Rebate.
industry would just roll right into here. It'd roll right over from Ohio. It'd come right in from New York, right up from Pittsburgh. It'd be one of the greatest things.
I'm not a city developer, right? But like, I know that when you bring something like the film industry in, that provides more local jobs, more
Yeah.
opportunities.
There's
Man, people need to go eat at restaurants on Mondays.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
there's
that's
anyone
totally
out
yeah.
there in Erie who
Yeah,
has
when John was up here for the 6 week shoot, yeah, we had trouble finding places to eat on Monday because he was trying to explain that most of the restaurants here. He's been gone. By the way, John is from Erie.
yeah,
That's why the show is The Monsters from Lake Erie.
yeah,
John and I've known each other for probably close to 40 some years.
yeah,
Yeah, probably
kindergarten, grade school
kindergarten.
stuff.
Yeah. I think it was probably kindergarten, first grade. Yeah, that time. Yeah. So yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood. So yeah, and we had a third that was going to come join us, the third our third cohort here, but she was going to join us for some of the on location shoots,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
three
All right.
days prior to production, she fell down a flight of steps and decided to break a bunch of bones. So
Yeah, it's not good.
so yeah, that
She's on the
was
mend.
yeah, it was just us going out there, but so I was doing double duty at the time, having to do a little caregiving at the same time.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah.
man. That's I mean, our summer, those 6 weeks were busy, Brian. I
Yeah.
mean, um, for as freestyle as we kind of took it, I mean, we didn't really have a schedule other than normally I would show up around your place around 12:30 or one somewhere, normally 12:30, 1:30 kind of thing. And then we just go out, film for a couple. And I really mean a couple and a half.
Yeah.
Sometimes get lunch, cheeseburgers if preferred, and then come back, and that's when you'd start the editing process
Yeah,
on
I
each.
keep thinking about the cheeseburgers, and honestly, I I liked
Haven't
I want
stopped.
to I want to say I liked the boardroom's cheeseburger presentation. I thought theirs was
With a nice little seared bun. I think
yeah.
that's right. They had their little name. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was nice. Yeah, I thought they did a good job on that. Yeah.
There was we should do a cheeseburger episode, man.
We should do a whole episode on who had the greatest cheeseburger.
I
Um,
mean, yeah,
so anyway, like back to what we were saying, you could have these productions. I mean, they're going on around you. I mean, look at, there's shows that are filmed in Pittsburgh all the time,
yeah.
and they could easily roll up here. It's just nobody in the right nobody with the right power has
Okay.
the
We'll
vision
find
to be able to just sit there and go, hey, you know what? If somebody wants to come dump a big pile of money on our county, that
yeah,
we'll give you 6% of it back.
yeah, right.
Yeah, like yeah, it's literally something you could put on a cocktail napkin.
Well, that's like how do you explain that? That's like having several people who are not well-to-do, but like they have the resources that can bring to bear, you know, a burgeoning film industry in Erie. And like legit, all they have to do.
People have to cooperate. It's very difficult. I see, I mean, they did a study. There's a group here that did a study that it brought in a ton of money. You can look it up online. It's film, I think it's filmerie.org or something. They did a study and it brings in a lot of money, and it just seems like there's no glue. There's nothing. I don't see it on the and at the administrative level in this area
Yeah.
of being film friendly. It's
Okay.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, like I said, I mean, they could have had a film from a long running franchise film here, but they
It's vision. I mean, it's
yeah,
vision and to be honest, it's vision and ability to see what's going on now too.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Pittsburgh is taking the reins around here. I had to like my representation is actually through Pittsburgh. Uh,
okay.
like we had to go down there and do a lot of stuff. I don't think people understand. It's like the film industry works so it takes so long. I have I think 3 or 4 credits or three that I know I can talk about
Okay.
in different projects that are coming out over the next year and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's you get involved in these things and you're only with them for a week or two and then you're off. Yeah, you're not in a hotel for 30 days.
Right. Right. Right.
So um it's
Which one, which ones are coming out that you're allowed to talk about?
Crust is coming out. That got picked up by Anchor Bay, distribution deal with Anchor Bay Entertainment.
Okay.
I'm an executive producer of that, along with a bunch of other people. It was a big project. It was all put together by Sean Whalen,
Okay.
and people might remember Sean from the Tom Hanks movie, That Thing You Do. It was about the Erie band that had the one hit wonder.
Yeah.
He played the heckler in there, and the one that it was like their biggest fan, and so uh, he came up with this idea and pitched this movie with a group of his friends, and
Nice.
a bunch of us all came together and pulled the funds, and were able to kind of get it off the ground, and then other people kind of joined in too, like some more uh some well, like Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller, he joined in
Oh,
the
right on.
cast and stuff
Oh,
like that.
nice.
And
Okay.
that happened like the day after I think I became executive producer. That got
Oh, yeah.
announced. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Like
I,
I was in before that, and then uh so like I was on board. I wanted in on this.
Mhm.
Um so they that was filmed last May in Newhall, California, and then at a place called the Lost Sock. Uh,
Okay.
Film takes place in a laundromat. It's a horror comedy. I I I don't want to give you any spoilers on that, but
Yeah. 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 That's
it was pretty cool. They actually got like uh it's it's uh it's not digital effects or anything. It's all practical effects. They
oh, dude, that's
hired
cool.
an actual Muppeteer to use the
Okay.
crust creature. Uh,
Okay.
so it's
That's kind of cool.
yeah.
What else? What else have you got going on that you actually you sent I'm trying to think what you had sent me lately. I don't know if we could talk about that though.
Oh, something about a battle.
Maybe.
That little clip. I think I can play that. Let me see if I can pull that up, and I'll share screen with everybody.
Okay.
And let me just see if I can find that. It's probably gonna play before it. All right, hold on.
Okay. You see
And then I'll share this sucker out here.
my
right, I'm sharing this media player with everybody here, and you can see this little clip here.
Yep.
All right, here we go, everybody. This is from a future episode that you don't know about yet, but here's a little sample.
Lost at sea, howling winds scream, let me be. The hull screams as it breaks, steel and timber twist and shake. Whispers of past lives haunt the night, searching for the flicker of light. Don't give up the ship, let's fight, battling through darkest night. Rising waves crushing soul, but the heart still in control. Storm rages, no land in sight. Bloodshot eyes from endless fight. Every breath a desperate plea. Hold the line, don't set us free. The hull screams as it breaks.
There you go. That is it.
Nice.
Let me stop that there and go back to the regular thing. There we are.
There you go.
Yeah, that was just a little sample of something we're working on, for something.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay. Yeah, we just wanted to do a little show where we could talk about like what's going on or the industry around Erie.
Sure.
There's a lot of great filmmakers here. Seriously, there's a lot of really good talent here. Sometime maybe we'll try to get some of these people to join us on an episode if we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
This is just episode 1. We just wanted to do something where we were, trying to get a little bit more connected with, with what's going on and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll let you know what's going on with me because I think I have about 2 weeks to figure out housing, internship, class schedule, all that kind of, stuff you kind of need to know going into your final semester, but
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
And
Actually,
we'll try to keep everybody updated too about like we're gonna try to film something like I said in the end of September, and then we're gonna try to film something in October. But we'll try to keep everybody updated on like kind of what's going on with us, and we'll try to drop new episodes now and then, and we'll just kind of take it from there. We have the ability now to be able to go remotely and live and do stuff and mix it together. We've got some pretty cool tricks up our sleeve. So
yeah.
I'd like to thank you for joining us and watching. If you stuck around through this whole episode, bravo, good for you.
Yeah, good job.
So and we will see you very soon, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Let me figure out how to stop recording this, and I'll get you.
How are we gonna do our walk-offs?
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a whole different ending.
Two filmmakers from Erie town, searching monsters all around. In the night they hear the sound, footsteps echo on the ground.